Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
There we go. And we're going to go to the calendar. Do you see the calendar now? No, you don't. Stop sharing. Share. Calendar. Here we go. Try this one. Now you should see the calendar. Is that correct? Did I lose you, Eva? What happened? Good morning. Oh, Eva, can you hear me? Did I lose everybody? Eva, can you hear me? What happened to everybody? You do hear me. Okay. Eva, what happened to Eva? Did we lose Eva? You hear me just fine. Okay, great. Well, let's see. Maybe Eva lost connection somehow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me go to a little rough start this morning. Okay, so there we should be seeing the. Okay, there's our Forex Factory for the news for the day. Today is August 3rd, August 19th, and there are no red folders that I'm seeing here. So it should be a relatively calm trading day for us. And so nothing there. We'll go to the heat map. And we have the yen pair. Yens are fairly strong on the higher time frames. Again, this is the upper left is the 1 hour. The upper right box is the 30-minute. And I primarily generally focus on the 15 and the 5, which is the lower two boxes. Right now, I'm seeing that the euro is relatively strong compared to the British pound. So let's take a look at the euro-British pound pair. And I was looking at the US CAD, and we're going to keep an eye on that one because that one may be developing. And let's see. Euro CAD is what we were looking at, I believe. Euro British, that's what it was, Euro British. And so I'm going to go to my 15-minute chart. Take a look and see where my major zones are. And you see, we just broke over a 15-minute red zone. We got the close above, got the pullback, have another close above. So we're going to be looking at that to the long side. The euro was the stronger currency. And so we're going to adjust some of these things here. Move this thing up. Since we're now breaking into the upper part, I'm going to make this one blue. And you can see the values are 8604. Blue. I'm not sure what happened to Eva. And then we go to my 5-minute chart. And we'll slide some of these up here so that we have the red up, maybe up there, in the green to the green zone. Here's my 50-minute green. That's at 85.62. And the red zone is going to be at 85.83. And put that on that one. So right now we're looking, we did get the close above the red 15. We did get the 5-minute close. We're on the 5-minute chart. And we're still seeing that we have the euro stronger by 5-0 on the British pound. So right now I'm looking for a pullback. We have the break. I'm looking for the pullback to the red zone. And then we're going to be looking at a target 1, 2, and 3. Here's my 1-minute chart and tweak it a little bit here. Still waiting for it to kind of pull back to this area right in here. It did hit the green line. So right now, if you were able to catch it on that first pullback, let's see where that would have been. Yeah, this little red candle right here on the 1 minute, we kind of missed that one because we didn't get started yet. Right at 7 o'clock, you did have a close above the 5-minute on this green candle right here was a 5-minute close. You did get the pullback. This was actually the right, this one right in here. That's the 59. When this green candle closed where the 1 is, we had the pullback. This was the entry right here. We weren't open yet at the time, but that was it. And here's the first target. And now what we're doing is we're waiting for another retrace back to the red line. And then the next target would be, again, it'd be target 1, and then we can go up to target 2 and then target 3 for more of a swing trade or more of a day trade. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if there's anything, if Eva's even here anymore. Did we lose Eva? Looks like we lost Eva. Unless she's still back in here. Let me just double check. Nope, I guess we have, so we're going solo today. I'll check back and see if she is able to pop up in here. And if you have any questions or comments, if you would put them in the question answer box, I may be more apt to see them. Problem is when I put the box up here, we're going to be losing some of my chart space here. So it can't be, so I'll just have to keep going back to checking on that. But anyway, right now the euro British pound, we did have a crossover. This is the 2-minute line right here, the green one. And that's at 85.48. And right now, as you can see, it's sort of had a little bit of rally. It's spacing a little bit. It still has the momentum. We're losing some of the momentum here on this 1 minute. So I'm still waiting for this thing to pull back. As it did hit the green line. We're waiting for the pullback back to the 4. So basically, right now, we're pretty much looking at for this scenario. All right. Number 1 area was satisfied. Now we're waiting for it to pull back. And anywhere within, right now is 1.3 pips move on this one, or spread. So anything within a couple pips of this red line, I'd be okay with taking that. If on the 5-minute chart, this euro British pound is still looking good and with a 3-point spread. This would be the target 1. This would be the target 2. If it goes up to the red line, then we can use another entry down in here. So that's the path on that one. So we're gonna have to just wait. I'm gonna set some alerts on this to see when it starts coming back into this lower area. So it bounces off the 62 here. I'll put an alert on this one. And we'll move on to something else. And we have the New Zealand is strong to the Swiss franc. Let's take a look at that one. I like that one. I might like that one a little bit better. Check our US CAD here while we're looking at it. US CAD. Still waiting for it to come back to this blue line on this one. Oh wait, we can actually do it on the 5 minute here. The CAD is, we don't have our 3-point spread on this, so we can't take that one. But when I'm going to put an alert on this as well. This 5 minute area. Here's my 5 minute chart. I'm looking at a bounce from my green. So I want to see what happens when it hits this green line. See what the spread is on that. If we have a 3-point spread, we can trade it in the direction of the stronger pair. Right now, this looks like it's just sort of consolidating. We came back down, did get a bounce off of here. And us retesting this area. And 5 minute green, I believe was. And I'll put an alert on here. And just let me see if Eva's trying to get a hold of me at all. Hang on just a second. I think she must have lost her internet or something. Okay, so let's see. Let me check the chat box if there's any questions or comments. Okay, all right, it's starting to come down. Again, we're checking our spread here on the US CAD. We have 1.8 spread. Right now, our target area here is at 1.2739. We're at 1.2743. So we're getting very close to this one. Put an alert on this one. If we get a bounce, right now it looks like this thing has the trend on this thing. I'm looking at this pivot here, and we're looking at this pivot. So right now there's a trend line going on this one. We have an upper trend line, so it's actually building a wedge. Here's our wedge, here's our break. Now this could be a trap right in here. We have to be careful. I still want to see this thing. If we take this thing short, I want to see this come down, close below the green line, then come back up and probably maybe retest the line, or maybe even retest inside this wedge. We do have a nice little spread here. The CAD is 5, US is 1. CAD is the second currency of the pair. So right now I'm looking at this thing to go short. If we can get the break of the green line.
Hey, Al.
Al,
Excuse me just for a moment. I completely lost my internet. So if anybody's posted any questions in the Q&A, I can't see them. Can you just please repost?
there aren't any questions. There haven't been any questions yet.
There
So
haven't been. Okay.
I thought you may have you lost your internet.
Yeah, it just completely died on me. I thought, what the heck's going on now? But anyways, I lose all the chat and Q&A when I do get that.
It gets awfully quiet here without you in here.
I'm back.
Well, welcome back. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
All right. So right now, where we're at, Eva, we're looking at the U.S. Canadian dollar. We did have a break of the trend line, although we're still waiting for it to close below the green fib line to possibly take this thing short. Right now, it's finding a little bit of a struggle getting through there, but that's what we're looking at right now. I do have an alert set on that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking at. And then the Aussie yen, we were looking at that one. So I think I was looking at that one. I was looking at earlier anyway. Nothing to hang our hat on that one yet. So let's go take a look at the German 30 while we're waiting around here. That's hanging in between the two 15-minute ranges. These are US CAD alerts. Okay. Let's check that out. Nothing here right now, not yet. US CAD, we're getting a nice little spike down here. And we're going to be a little bit patient. See, right now we have 1 minute and 42 seconds for this candle to close.
looks like it's forming an M there, is it?
Yep, it is. If we look at somewhat of a, this is sort of like a harmonic. We have a nice leg up. And we're going to talk about this later on, somewhere down the road. We're going to get into these harmonics a little bit. And possibly down here to the target. So you'll get these these are harmonic patterns, but they have, and basically you have a strong leg up, and that XA leg pulls back to a B, comes back to the lower C, and then comes down. And this thing breaks. We're looking at this thing coming all the way down to this 15-minute blue line. And that's going to be 21. That's going to be a nice little 21 pip move down there. If we can, if this works. We have the spread right now, but we still have to get the close on that 5-minute close. And right now it's got 44 seconds, so I'm not convinced this candle is going to do it. Let's go over to our 1-minute chart. We don't have any major news announcements today.
Oh, we don't? Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, there were no major news. Time reference. This is just a time reference line here. Seeing that this is at the 750 area, so when this current candle closes, you can see it came down to the line. It just tagged it, and it's retracing. But it isn't a relatively nice little downtrend. We did get the break. Let's see if any of these broke here in the 5-minute. Let's see. Put this back at 40, and we did get a close below the wedge. Did pull back up here. This could be a nice little area that this thing could retrace up to retest. We do have another trend line. This line right here. We're having that. Here's an anchor. Here's a hit. We'll see if it comes up and re-hits. Take this harmonic off. We can draw the trend line better. We have a higher time frame trend line, which came all the way up here. There's the anchor. Here's the hit. So this trend line is significant. It's coming back up to retest this wedge right here. This could be a nice little trade, but we still need to get the strength of the CAD strong to the US dollar. If this thing pulls up and tags this trend line right here, we may be able to get a nice little trade off of that. Here's our green fib line. We're on a 1-minute chart. There. We did not get the 5-minute close below. Now we got to move this thing over for another next 5-minute period. We'll see if it comes up and tags this. There is a nice little drop. Came back, retested it, dropped again. Now it's coming back to retest this little area. call this a retest area. And we can see all of our moving averages here on the 1 minute are now starting to flip around. We don't have the spread here, so we really can't take this trade. Let's see what it's like on the 5 minute here. We do have the 3 points. Okay, right now, it's coming up on this low retest area. We have the CAD as the second currency of the pair. We have a 3 point spread. It's coming up to retest this trend line, so we can take this trade. In fact, I think, and we have it is losing low ground on the 15 minute. We'll see how this closes right along in here. Right now, it's still a little bit, it still has a little bit of strength to the upside. Basically, what it's doing is retesting this trend line that it broke here earlier. Came close above the screen line. That's a good sign for a short. CAD's still strong. CAD's still strong. But on the 1 minute, it's still a little bit weaker. So I like to see these things flip over a little bit more before I take this trade. It does have a little bit of upward momentum. It just broke through the retest area, so that's no longer valid. Cut off. Now we have this red trend line, good line. You want to be real careful on these on these retracements like this. And now it's back up into the wedge, but we don't have a 5 minute close in the wedge. So that's, we'll see where it happens here with this candle. Open a room here.
Actually, the German is starting to look like it's shaping up for a short, Al.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Should we switch screens here?
We can if you want, just to show you what I've done, and then we can go back to what you're doing.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'll keep an eye on this one.
Okay.
You got the trade. You got the screen.
All right. Okay, guys, that's what I've got. I'm assuming you can see it's populated and you can see it. I took my fib line from the highest point. I'm gonna have to squish this up a little bit. From the highest point of the cluster, the candle cluster close above, let's say that 5 times fast, above the 34 down to the low. It pulled back to between the 23 and the 38, and now it's on its way back down. I put my entry, my sell stop right below, a little bit below, a couple of dollars below my zero line. And my target is only a $5 move away. So that's, I guess, 50 pips is what that equates to, which is very close because of the size of these indexes that I'm trading. And the MMAs are all pointing downward the way they're supposed to, and they're all in order. They're a little bit wonky here, but as it comes down, it'll straighten out. And if it doesn't straighten out because it's not coming down, well, nothing lost, because I'm actually not in the trade at the moment. So I'm waiting for it to straighten out before that happens. I also did the same thing on the UK 100. It's looking pretty much the same way. It might be moving a little bit more wonky, like it's starting to do this kind of thing. But for now, I'm going to leave it and see how it works out. If it does start to come down to where I expect it to, then these are going to naturally straighten themselves out. You can see it's still in a downward momentum. So for now, everything is a go as far as I'm concerned with these two. And that's all I've got for now.
That's all you have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that for now. If one of them starts to move, I will let you know. I will just keep my eyes on them. This one is, I can see my RSI is pointing up here on the 5 minute. So this one is still kind of deciding what it wants to do, but that's okay. Like I said, I've got a sell stop, and if it doesn't trigger, well, then it doesn't trigger. I can't exactly go the other way because it's not giving me a long scenario. So for now, I'm just going to wait and see it. It is a little bit mashed up here, but at the time when I said it, it really wasn't. So we'll just see what it's going to do. If there's any questions, just let me know. But I don't see any questions. So I guess that must be, it's either clear as mud or it's clear as clear.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like, go ahead, let me share. See, did you stop sharing?
Yeah.
You did?
Okay.
Okay. See if I can find the share screen here. And we're going to go back to this US CAD. Now, here's what's going on with the US CAD is that right now it came down and tested the green line. It broke through the trend line that we drew, the wedge, basically. It's coming up to retest. Now, right now we do not have a 5 minute close. If we're on a 5 minute chart, and we can see that right now we have a little wick right here on it. It wicked up back into the wedge, but it did not close. But our CAD and US CAD, the CAD's still showing strength, but I need a little bit more of a spread with that. So right now we're still kind of it's still favoring to the downside with a pullback. But I'm a little hesitant to take it up in this area until I get it clear. Perhaps maybe another candle close below this little red candle that we have right now. Right now it's still finding some strength. I suspect it might come up and actually retest this upper blue trend line. If we can get a bounce off of that and then another breakthrough, we may have a nice little entry to go short, but we have to wait until these things. See, right now on the 5 minute, right now the dollar is starting to gain some strength. They're kind of fighting for last place is what they're doing. And we just don't want to, we're going to wait till they decide before we jump into a trade. This one is still a nice little pullback, but we're still respecting this trend line right here. Plus we also have another 5 minute red zone right up in here. This is 21 pips between here and here. So we just want to we don't want to rush it. Usually there's time to get into the trades. And if you miss one opportunity, oftentimes there's another opportunity with the same trade down the road. Here's our red fib line, 27 at 127.60. The green one's at 127.39. And that gives us a 21 pip range on this. We're just trying to cash our 7 pips out of the middle of this thing. Go to my 2 minute chart, my 1 minute chart rather. See where my 2 minute zones are. And you can see we have this little red zone right up here. We have the green zone right here. These are 7 pips apart. And we're going to see if it can, right now we have an energy point right here. We have a trend line coming down, plus we have this fib line right here. And the dollar is getting stronger. Let's see what it looks like on the 5 minute. There's still a little bit of indecision right here. I just like having a little bit more momentum, a little bit higher momentum spread on this before I take the trade, because it can turn around pretty quickly on you. And these 2 minute lines are good for targets. I don't really like taking the trade off of these 2 minute fib lines. They're just not that strong. All in all, I like to have a little bit more. That's why I like having the momentum on to my back, get the wind to my back on this. And so I just need a little bit more strength of the dollar before I would take it long. The dollar is gaining strength all the way across the board. Now we're getting the strength. Now let's see if we can get a 5-minute close above this red line with a pullback, and then looking for this for the next target. And we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go before this candle will close. See how we got the strong move up. We had the spread here. They immediately pulled it right back as soon as it hit that line. If you got into that trade, you had a 7-pip window, but it really wasn't that because you had your spread, and it'd been hard to get your 5 pips out of that. And so we're just going to keep on being patient. Ever line marked right here. This is getting to be critical. If we get the close above with the momentum, then maybe take this trade to the long side. We have the spread on the 5-minute. We still have 1 minute and 20 seconds to see if this thing can close above here. Have the spread here. We have the spread here, and we're a little shy on the 15-minute, but that will usually be the last one to confirm. And we did to get the break of the upper trend line. This was a head fake down here. Now if we get this break and close above, we have 44 seconds to go. We don't have the spread right now. And this red candle right here is going to be the determining factor whether or not we can take this trade. It's depending on how it closes. That candle and then this RCA, this Hercules. Looks like Ian's having some computer problems this morning.
Who is? Eden's?
Check the chat.
Oh, okay.
He's getting to become our gold guy.
Yeah. Have you pulled him over?
I wasn't sure if he was able to. He was saying that he was having some computer problems. Is he in a good spot to?
He's in the room. He's asking if he can share his charts off his phone in the meantime. He's at an Airbnb.
Oh, off the phone. That's gonna be pretty tough to do. I think we'll pass on that one.
Okay. Yeah, Eden's. We'll wait until you're up and running with the proper
Yeah.
Up on your computer.
So here's one reason why. So actually, we're getting another retest of this trend right here. We're getting a retest of where that 2-minute fib line was, actually right here. We're getting a retest of that. The dollar is still flipping back and forth on this one. Dollar is starting to show some strength. Again, this is where you can really get beat up a lot when you think, oh, it's going to take off, and it comes back and gets you back to even. Gets you off, you just get beat up. It just comes up, takes your stop. Goes up, takes your stop. Comes down, takes your stop. This is why you want to make sure. This is why I like having the momentum to my back to give me that extra push to grab those pips. Now this is a nice little move up with a nice little pullback, retesting the trend line. We have a spread here. The dollar spread. This thing is still favoring to the long side. I like this bounce off of it here. This would be a aggressive trade to take it off this line. We do have the spread. We have the spread here on the 1 minute. It's getting stronger on the 2. But do we have, what kind of range do we have here on this? We have, we have 7 pips there. We have a 1.6 spread. This one's going to be a little more aggressive, but we do have the moving averages. Let's see where the moving averages are on here. We have the moving averages are a little shy. We saw with the green above the yellow on that one. We do have the green above the yellow on the 15-minute. This is one that's really tempting to take. Looks like it has momentum to the upside, but the 1 minute moving averages are correct. Looks like the 5. All of our moving averages are correct and in the right order. We have almost got the strength here on this pullback. Now it's back into the wedge. We're just going to keep on waiting to see if we get the opportunity to take this trade. Right now, it could go either direction.
See what the S&P did last night, huh?
I saw it drop. It looks like it's at a spot to rebuy again when I saw it earlier.
It's still going down.
Still going down?
It's still going down. I'm out of all my cells except for one left. But now my buys are going into drawdown, so my hedges. So, but I'm going to hold tight here. I'm not going to do anything weird.
See, right now this thing is trading inside between. It's going sideways inside this box. So really, right now, here's the bottom third, middle third, upper third. This is a 21 pip range. If we can get a close inside this area with a pullback, we may be able to take another shot at the upside, but we still have to have confirmation. I still want confirmation on this. It's better to just stay out of a trade and miss it than to get one and sorry that you did. See how this closes here on the dollar's picking up some steam. And here the CAD's got stronger. So right now the CAD's strong on the 1 minute. Dollar's stronger on the 5 minute. Dollar's strong, not by a whole lot, on the 15. I would still favor to the upside, but it's just not giving me the opportunity that I'm looking for to get in. Again, I'd like to see it get down into this area and give me an indicator to go long. Now we have these two zones to be looking. I like to have the idea that I have a 15 pip target. I'm just trying to get that 7 pips out of it. Here's our spread here. We can get a close on this. Let me take this thing long. I like the spread there. I like the spread there. We're coming up on the 2-minute line with 7 pips away. If I do buy it, it's just going to be a market order. Still good, not good. We did break the trend line again. Pulling back, show the trend line. We have a good spread here on the 1 minute, not on this one. Maybe do a buy stop at 27.56. I'm in the trade. Have the spread, came back up. See if it comes up and see what it does on this. We have these little wicks right over here, which is where this trend line started. You had to bounce out, retested it, came back in, retested the bottom wedge and the wedge, came back in, respected the bottom trend line, and now we're coming on up to see if it can break through and give us our 7 pips. We have good strength, not great strength here, but it's doable. Right now, the dollar is still showing stronger. There's our spread of 3. Now, if it goes and reverses on me, I'm not going to wait for a 15 pip stop. I got my stop way down here. If it reverses on me, then if it starts breaking through this wedge again, then I'll probably be out of this trade. This was an aggressive entry on this.
Was there another one you were working on as well, Al, or was it just this one?
This was apparently the main one I was working on. Let's see if there's anything else to look at here. Euro British, I think was the other one we were doing. Euro British. Here we go. This is one that we were waiting for it to come back, never did. We are starting to break through. This one's just not giving us an opportunity. It's not getting the pullback enough to get an opportunity to get into this trade. Here is the 5 minute. Actually, here is the break, the first break, 5 minute break above our 15-minute line. Came back up. Here is the retest. Here was the move up. This was the break right here. Came back in, gave us the chance to retest it. And then we have our targets. And let's see, where's my fib lines here? I said it really hasn't given us a chance to get back in since this initial time right here around 7 o'clock this morning. It just hasn't pulled back enough to, when it hits the green line, it needs to pull back to the red line. If it hits the red line, it needs to pull back to the green line. Never really did. Here's where it hit the green lines. And now we're waiting for it to pull back to the green line to maybe retest the red line. So this is the area where we're looking at. So we just have to wait and see if it can come back. Now we do have a little bit of a trend line coming on here from this area. And that's, you can see right there is where the green crosses the trend line. So I just still want to see a pullback to the trend line or this little area right in here before I try and get into this thing. That little area right in there. It pulls back into that. Is there set alert? I don't know if we can set alert on the 0 or not. Don't think so. I can set it on the trend line though. So we have an alert on that. We'll come back. If it comes back and test that, we'll take a look at that. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Back at the ranch.
We're still looking at, we're still having a hard time getting through this area right in there. But we do have a nice little spread here on the pullback. And so we have a 5-point spread now, 5-point spread. Let's see what's happening on the 15-minute. In fact, it was right now, things are looking good on this one.
Oh,
Let's see if it can come up. We have a nice spread, 1.6 spread on here. It's coming up to retest. We'll see if we can get a 5-minute close on this. Let's move this thing over to 8:15. Okay, we're on a new 5-minute candle right now, so we have to go to 8:20.
You're in this, right?
Oh, in 5 minutes. Oh, we just got the 5-minute candle close. Here you go.
You're in this already, though, are you not?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I want to pull this pullback. I did a buy stop on this one, so I am in it. I'm still waiting for it to confirm and get this 5-minute candle to close above this red line. If it can, I may just pull this trade here, but right now it's still looking good. We have the strength of the dollar. It's still having a hard time getting a close above this. So 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go on this candle. But our moving averages are correct. We have the trend line that broke the trend line, came back, retested it. And let's see what else we have here. You know, we actually had a little bit of a wedge, another little wedge coming here. Let me take this trend line off. And we have a strong move up, and we have a little wedge right in here. Here's a low, here's the high, here's the higher low. Here's the lower high right in there. It's pretty much flat topped it. Once we can get a breakthrough here, this thing could keep on going for a while.
Yeah, it's gaining strength, eh? The U.S.
Yeah, dollar's getting some strength. Right now, the dollar is the strongest on the 1 minute. It's in a 5 and a 4. We got 3-point spread here, so the dollar is gaining strength. And a nice little early entry on this one. getting into the upper of these, of this, these 5-minute zones between this green and this blue. We are getting into the upper third between this third, and this third. We are coming up into the upper third. So it's probably going to, and you can see this is where it was challenged right in the middle of this area, right over in here. So it's got a little bit of, it's got a little problem getting through this part. We'll see what it does. Here's our 62 on the bottom here. We have everything still in the right direction. We have the green over the yellow's over the, in this case, it's the purple is the 62 moving average. Now this is starting to give it up. And we're still another hour away from the US market opening, so still have some time.
So Eden's telling us that on the hour chart, if gold can close below 1785.31, it's a go for the short. he's still trying to connect. Do you have a hotspot on your data plan, Edens, that you can connect your computer to your hotspot? That's what I was getting ready to do with mine here when the internet wasn't working. It was just connect to my data on my phone.
Yeah, right now the gold is ranging right between these two fib lines. I believe these are still on the 15-minute. Yep, they're still 15-minute. Let's see if gold can, right now the dollar is, right, this dollar is not overly strong, so no real clear indication with the gold part. Let's see how this thing's doing here. Any other news on the Aussie US? Markets aren't, not a lot of volatility this morning.
So we did have Edens lined up for you guys today. He was going to show us his charts and whatnot, just so you're aware of what we're talking about with him back and forth. He was going to show us how he gets, how he calls his gold trades, because as you guys that are regulars in the room know, he's pretty successful with it all. So if he can't seem to get it going today because of the Wi-Fi where he's at, then be sure to tune in tomorrow, because then he'll be back home tomorrow and he'll be on his own computer and his own internet connection. So he seems to be the man when it comes to choosing the gold trades.
I don't like the way this thing's coming back to retest this area down here. Let's see what we got on this. So it's a strong move up. Here's a pullback. Right now it's sort of consolidating. Now what we're looking at could possibly be happening here is that it came up in the upper third of this zone, came down to the bottom third, really retested it. But this is the move up, pullback. And this thing could come back down and start retesting this area here. If I get stopped out, I might have an opportunity to go short to recoup that. But right now, I'm still looking to see if this little wick right here, if it's going to hold or not. Couldn't quite break through the red zone. Couldn't quite break through the green zone down here. So right now, it's just pretty much going sideways since about, well, pretty much since about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this morning. That's right around the, that's during the London Open time. I'm still going to hang in there. Because actually right now here, it just made a lower high. Here's a high, here's a lower high. Here's a low. Here's a higher low. Here's a higher low. You have a little bit of that trend line still. This trend line was broken, but it still made a higher low. So I can actually, and that was rejected. So this little area right here, there's some buyers that keep coming in right around this area. These wicks are important. So just finding a little bit of demand in here. And actually here is the wedge. Strong move up, came back down, and now it's actually building a little bit of a wedge here. Here's a higher low. Here's a low, here's a higher low. Let me take this off. Change this one. Let's see, was anybody anywhere in the room? Anybody was on the Auvoria Prime's call yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock? See if you did, raise your hand or let me know if you were on the call.
Jody Ann was on, Sanita was on, Ann was on.
Oh, good. Oh, then you know what's coming down the pike here. Like I said, today and tomorrow will be the last days we'll be in the Zoom room. And then starting on Monday, we're going to be in the AP Live session. We'll be doing this broadcast here through the new website. The good news is that we'll have the AP Live is up and running, but you're going to have to need the subscription pass or the license to be able to get into the room after starting Monday. And we hope everybody will still come and join us. Hopefully it's worth your while to be in here. Nice article.
How do they connect?
Say that again.
I know you need the subscription, but how do you actually connect? Like right now, we get into Telegram, we click on the link, and we're in the room. So what?
Well, you'll access through the back office. There's going to be a link. There's links in the back office in order to get into this AP Live. It's called AP Live, and I don't know if I can show you how to do that because I'm not sure myself how. But there's just go into your Auvoria Prime backup dashboard, and you'll see the links for AP Live. And the biggest thing is that you need to change your subscription or add to your subscription your bronze pass or silver pass, whatever pass you have. If you can either add the pass to be able to get into the room and use that as one of your room selections, or if let's say you're using some other selection, you can by midnight Friday tomorrow, you can make that switch because you can change your pass each week. You can change it to a different marketplace selection, and it will just be one of the marketplace selections. So if you have a bronze pass, you pretty much have to change it. If you wanted to add a silver or a gold, add another level to your pass selections, then you can just add our room to it, the Hawkeye room. Just select the Hawkeye room, and that'll give you the AP Live feed to get into our room here. This thing's just hanging out here, right? Nothing too exciting. You may get a little bit more of a push on it somewhere around 9 o'clock before the U.S. market opens. And let's see where the dollar looks like it's headed to today. Right now, the dollar is kind of in the middle of the pack on all 4 time frames. It seems to be hanging up in the upper half of it. So I have no idea which way it's going to go come 9 or 10, 9:30, but we'll just have to play with what we get. Let's try the Euro British, see where that's at here. Still looking at the retest of the trend line. Almost out of there. Not a lot of strength. Euro looks relatively strong to the British pound, so that's good. Here's our trend line. Should be getting, I think I don't know what's set on that, I thought. Let's see here.
Market's kind of crawling, isn't it?
It's really calm. Yeah, it's just not a lot of volatility today.
No, even the London market's not moving a lot, like the European markets.
Slow news day, and I have a little bounce off of that. Let's see, we got 85.55. That's only 2 pips right there. That's just basically the spread. That's what I say. I'd like to see a pullback. I'd like to see a pullback 7 pips and give me a shot at getting that next range out. But it seems to be hanging in really close to the midway of these two. Get the bounce below trend line, but now it's starting to give up some of our strength there. Still have the strength on the 15. Moving averages are still behaving. Moving averages still good. Green over the yellow. Yellow is over the purple, which is good. And moving averages on the 2-minute, on the 1-minute chart are all in the right order. So the moving averages on all 3 time frames are good. We have still have the spread on the 15. We don't have the spread much on the 5. And it's wavering between on the 2. But it does have, I would say this is certainly still a nice little bounce off the trend line. But it's just getting, this little area right here is just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I still like to see it move back. Just, again, this is where patience just kind of comes in. You just have to decide. I would view this little area here as a trap, possibly.
There's a question for you in the Q&A, Al, when you have a moment.
Okay, let me take a look at that. Is the Hawkeye subscription going to be available with indicators and strategy documents? You will have the strategy document. The indicators they will be available, and we're not charging. Here's the pricing on where we're going to be doing it is that if you subscribe to our room, when we have the indicators available, you will just get the indicators. If you decide you want the indicators and do not subscribe to them, then there will be a fee for the indicators. But for right now, we're not looking at charging you. The room would cover the indicators. So at this point, And we're still working, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I wish I had an answer to that, but we're giving you the numbers especially while we're here in the room. We'll give you the numbers of the fib lines, and then you can draw, if you have an MT4 or something like that, you can draw those out. And we're giving you the information here on the Hercules. That's probably one of the main ones here is the Hercules. Is probably one of the biggest ones that we want to really get to you guys. We're working on it. I don't know how long it's going to take for that to happen. I wish I had an answer for you. But we're not going to be charging any extra for the indicators as long as if you subscribe to our room, the indicators will come when they're available. Until then, we're just going to have to give you the information. So, sorry to say that. What's that?
We're waiting on the developer. Like,
well, actually, the problem right now, the problem that we're having with the tools is with TradingView. They don't have right now. They're working with TradingView to be able to secure their information with TradingView on their platform, this AP Live platform. And there is some programming and technical stuff that goes on with that to make that happen. Once that gets done, then there should be relatively clear sailing to get these indicators, because we have the indicators already available for TradingView. We just have to be able to get TradingView to be able to work through the website of the AP Live. That's probably where the glitch is right now, from what I understand. I'm talking to, I'm trying to get into conversation with the programmers and just see if we can make these get the program onto the MT4 platform, and that would be a little bit easier way to streamline it into the AP Live, since they've already got that coding taken care of. But we just have to get the developers to have a program for the MT4. And I'm working with that. I just put a note out to Anthony yesterday to see if that can happen, and I haven't got a response back from him yet. But we're working on it. I know people have been with us for a while. I've heard that before, but it's frustrating to me. But the best thing I can do, if I could just give it to you, I would. But it's not mine to give away, so I really can't do that. But I can give you the information as you're in the room here.
oh, it's crossed a line somewhere.
Yeah, that's the alert that we had here for the. I think that's this one here. Yeah, cross the trend line. Yep. This one here, so I didn't want to be taking this thing long, because you can see how we have this line here and we have the trend line. It's just getting narrower and narrower and narrower. Now we're starting to get a break of the trend line. And we'll see what happens with this. What's our US CAD doing here? It's hanging in there. It's not making me happy, but it's not stopping me out either. Actually, a little bit of a higher zone right here. It's a strong pullback. There's the wick down. Move this thing over to 55. That's around 40. That's Auvoria on the 5-minute chart. Let's see what happens right around the 9 o'clock hour here.
Okay, I'm just pulling my UK 100 pending trade off of here, because it appears that it's trying to change direction. Just as an FYI. And that's the beauty of a pending order. I'm not in it, so it's no problem. We wait for a new setup.
What about if the trade doesn't work out the way you projected it, then it's better not being in it and reassess and
Yeah.
You know, so I have an idea of which way it's going to go. If it doesn't fit the plan, then that means the plan wasn't going to work. I do have an alert on this little line right here. This is breaking the trend line. So let's renew this thing. We're going to take this one off. Remember, we still were looking at originally where we still wanted it to come back and retest this. So here's our 21 pip zone between this, the 15 red and the green. These are 15, and right now we're looking at seeing if it's going to come into this bottom third. Here's the bottom third of this whole area. Yes. So here's the top third. And actually, if you go with the 2 minute, actually, here we go. Let's see, this is the top third here. Make this supply. Just put 25% there. Here's the bottom part. Actually, it's more than 25%. This is 30. I'll change that. Here's the bottom third. Let's see where we have. Actually, when we're looking at our range, basically our 60 pip range is what we're usually looking at here. Our upper 25% is going to be pretty much the top 2 minute lines. So here's our 2 minute. These are our two. This is a 2 minute supply. Here's the red and the green. Basically, this is the bottom 25% of that whole range, and up here is the top 25%. And actually, if I do this, if you take this one off, and we clone this one, and there's the upper 25%. And right now it's in the bottom here. So right now it's in this area where we just don't know. I want to see it come out of this area, come back, preferably come out, retest this, and then go up higher. Because right now we're in the bottom 25% of that whole range. And that's one reason why we're not getting a whole lot of movement right now on this. But it did cross over here, came back up. And you can see if I take this all the way over, you can still see that when it came up into this, when the price came up into this 15 pip minute red line, it's still staying within this bottom 25% of this whole upper move. Or you can look at it as in the upper 25% of the overshoot area of this up move. So right now it's still trying to decide, does it want to go up higher, or is it going to come back down and maybe retest this lower area? And right now we really don't know the answer to that. But we do know that it's ranging in between 85, 55, and 42, which is about your 14 pips. Not giving us a lot of direction. Meanwhile, back at the ranch with the US cat trade, is still doing the same type of thing. Let's see where we are in the bigger curve with that one. Let's see here. There's the 25% range of this lower range. And here's the upper range. And it's just sort of hanging out in the middle of everything there too. And have some of this stuff off of here. Here's my 5-minute chart, which keeps things a little bit more doable. See, right now, what we're looking at with this, we had a strong move up, strong move down, and now it's just been kind of going sideways inside this range and right in here. And here's a little drop. Here's a little bit of a wedge right in this area. In some ways, it's actually forming kind of a channel here. It's actually making a little bit higher highs and higher lows. But this is the area that's just hanging in. So really, until it breaks out of this, there's really nothing to do other than wait. We did have a shot getting profitable when it hit that red line, but just couldn't quite close. I was planning on it to break through and keep on going, but it never did. So we're kind of stuck right now. Any other questions, comments? Let's see, put things in the chat here.
Nothing going on.
Nothing going on.
Nope.
Just kind of a quiet day today. It's just like we gave us a couple bites of some couple bites to bite on, but and I said this one's still not done yet. I'm still feeling pretty good about this one still. I still think the dollar is going to get stronger. And if we have any real doubts when it gets back up to break even, it gets up here, just take the profits and wait, and then wait for it to close and break above this red zone. This is making a little higher highs, but ever so slightly, and in a very tight range here. What's really happening is it's ranging in, when it comes down to the lower 20, right now, this is 21 pips. And if we put our 2-minute lines on here, you can see that when it comes down into the lower, here's our green line, so this is our lower third. I'll just make this demand. And then it comes to the upper third, which is this area up in here, which is the, where's my fib line here? This fib line right in there. There's the upper third. There's my line. Let's make this supply. Find it. must have taken off my chart. So right now it's in the middle between. It keeps bouncing around, and it keeps. You see, it's coming less and less high and less low. So really, there's just no direction right now until probably until the U.S. market opens up. Maybe 9 o'clock we'll get some movement out of it.
Yeah, everything seems to be taking its time today.
Yeah, just one of those days. And actually, if you draw our fib line here between this one, this is a straight fib line. Let's see here. And we can just, this is basically the upper 25 right there. This is the lower 25 right there. And these normal fib lines, I mean, they still work. It's kind of more of a matter of personal preference, which ones you want to be using. Whether you get the ones that we have pre-programmed on the platform versus, I mean, they're all within a couple pips of each other. You can see that here's where my entry was, right up in here.
Like the German is starting to go. Finally, it's starting to move.
Is it going to the downside? Yep, it's going.
Yeah. It's
Just about the time you pulled your trade on that, right? Oh, pull yours.
I pulled my trade on the UK 100.
Oh, it's UK 100. Okay.
The UK 100 I pulled. The German I left behind because they don't move exactly the same, and the UK is going up a little bit. The German is actually starting to finally move downwards. So it's still taking its time, but it's actually starting to make some headway, which is a nice thing. It's just slower than usual, considering the market is open there still. You'd think that it would move a little bit quicker, but I find with the indexes, once it decides to go, then it moves.
And if anybody needs the labels on the German 30, I've got it at 15,610, 56 for the blue line, and 15,652, 74 for the green. That's the area that's in right now. Yeah, see if we got a 5-minute green close below here on this. Let's see, we're coming up on 55. Let's see where the 5-minute is on this.
So my entry point on this is 15,615.41.
Here we had a little head fake here. Came down, wick down, pulled way back fairly deep. Came down again. Now it's starting to break through. We got this little wick over here that be concerned about.
Yeah, I put my entry below that wick.
Here's our 5-minute line right here. Had to pull back. And we have euro. I like using the euro for the German 30 because that's the currency of the DAX, the euro. So that's strong. If the euro is strong, that means it looks like it. Usually if the currency is strong, the index is weak. It's coming into the lower 25%, lower third. We're coming up on the hour.
I'm checking, don't worry. We keep seeing your box come up.
Well, I just want to kind of just look myself here. I don't doubt that you're looking.
We see what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this right now where we have this nice little close down. Go to my 2-minute chart. Here's our 5-minute. The 5-minute blue, I think. Let's see, blue. Let's see, where was that? Right, 5-minute green, I think. And then this would be the 5-minute. That'd be 5-minute red there. And the euro just flipped to the downside. Well, it's flipping quite a bit. 5 to a 0, 5 to a 0. All over the place on this one. Let's see, that's 24 to 12. There's about $12 worth of move in there, or 12 euros. Actually, I kind of like if it comes up to this red line and came across to take it short to down here. Euro's still strong, makes the index weak. We do have a $2.50 or 2.5 point spread. And we're at 9 o'clock and not much to tell you anybody.
See you later, Leslie. Have a great vacation. See you in a week.
I think we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm not seeing anything that I want to jump onto right now. I do kind of like this one. It's possible it has taken a short when it comes up to this red line to the green line. It does seem to be basing right into this area. I know 5, I know Let's see, how much time do we have left on this? 2 minutes. We'll see how this 5-minute candle closes. With all these moving averages sticking, pointing way down like this, I don't see it going long anytime soon.
No, I'm confident it's going to come down.
Yep.
It's taking longer than I'd like it to, that's all. Oh,
I'm
good
gonna
stuff,
take a,
Sean. 7 pips on the US CAD.
take a small position on this one short.
Congrats, Sean. Good work.
Let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. And then we'll pack it in for the day here. Well, as a no clear direction here, I'm just going to close up shop here, and I think somebody may be in the room coming in behind me here, so I probably need to be getting out of here. That won't be the case when we go with the AP Live. We should have our own little channels and shouldn't really matter. So with that, sorry we don't have any good trades today so far, but let's see how you guys doing. Well, that one's starting to work out okay. And we'll see, keep an eye on that one. If you did get on that one, looks like you're profitable right now.
Yes, I
And
was saying Sean got 7 pips on this one.
Okay, and with that, in fact, I'm just going to, let's see, we're at 9 o'clock. Let's see if it's what happens with this 9 o'clock candle here.
You're welcome, Rajiv. So good to see you in the room.
It's starting to break its way through. With another, if it can't break through, I'm just going to close this one out and reassess. With that, okay, I'm closing down shop here. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay green. Stay safe.
Yeah, see you all tomorrow, guys. Have a great day.